You are Locked On Texas Tech, your daily podcast on the Texas Tech Red Raiders. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Taken in just over the last maybe week or two, a couple of top 25 projections as far as different positions or position groups are concerned this year, Chris. And this is across the country. They're just throwing some of these out there, for what it's worth to whoever is up to you, I guess. But I'm seeing top 25 defensive projections. Texas Tech acknowledged in that group. I think that sounds great, but I also do have that type of expectation for Behren Morton, which is maybe the opposite of a recent conversation or graphic display. A revolting graphic display from you. Never mind. I don't want to get triggered by that again. Behren Morton was included on one of these lists, top 25 quarterbacks across the country heading into 2025. All right, I can certainly see that. I got, though, to a pass catcher's top 25 projection. I did not see a Red Raider in that group, which is a little jarring for a Tech fan, given what we have become accustomed to over many years now from a pass-catching standpoint. But it did get me to kind of thinking, where is this trend line actually with this group? Because I did feel like following some sort of, muted years where you really weren't cooking with anything all that special, even individually speaking, much less the group. I thought you had gotten back into being a little bit more, I guess, impact, if you will, among those wide receivers in some more recent years. Certainly last year, Josh Kelly was a go-to kind of guy. I thought he was one of the best in the Big 12 and one of the best going in the nation. And your group overall, I thought, was much better than just average. But that cast has changed a little bit, asking Caleb Douglas to take the next step and not be second in command to the man, but be the man. So things are changing. So I'm really kind of asking myself, what kind of trend line are we actually seeing for this group? Is it possibly a downward one to what we've recently been seeing? Or how do you feel about the thought of maybe not an individual Red Raider pass catcher represented among the nation's perceived top 25?
I think Caleb has been unfair. I mean, again, it's like kind of the Behren thing. He had nearly 900 yards receiving last year. And I think the second most of any returning Big 12 receiver in the conference. And yet he's still kind of been – NFL folks like him, NFL folks like Reggie Virgil, but they are about to embark on the toughest tests or the seasons of their career because there are expectations.
First, today's episode brought to you by Upside. Red Raider fans, are you still paying full price for gas? Stop leaving money behind and get real cash back every time you fill up with the free Upside app. Just download the free Upside app in the App Store or Google Play Store right now and start earning cash at the pump today. And you can use our limited time promo code FOOTBALL and get an extra 25 cents back per gallon on your first fill up. You can make up to $300 a year just from buying the gas you already needed. You might think it's too good to be true, but it's totally legit. Real people are getting paid just to make their daily commutes, and you can too. Plus, you can cash out anytime to your bank account, PayPal, or an e-gift card for Amazon and other brands. So don't let this hour drive on by. Download the free Upside app now and use our limited time promo code FOOTBALL for a limited time 20-cent per gallon bonus. That's our promo code FOOTBALL for a limited time 25-cent per gallon bonus. Offers vary by user and location. Go to upside.com for terms and conditions.
I do think people want to see consistency and they want to see you make plays when it counts. And I think that the best thing that they've got going for them is each other, because the other could make the other's life easier.
Yeah,
that's just the way that this is going to work. It's not. Yeah, that guy's our deep threat. No, you've got two of them. So you're going to force some coordinators and some safeties to okay, pick your poison. Which way you want to shade your coverage, or do you want to play cover two the whole time? And that's my guess on what a lot of teams are going to do. They're going to say, let's just find out how good they can run the ball with these two young backs. Let's just let's not take our chances with some of this stuff, and it may be keeping everything. That's what UAPB is definitely going to do. They may play three safeties back there in that cloud stuff and say keep it all in front. I'm not letting these big boys get behind us, but I don't see a downward trend at all. I think that it is fair to ask aloud what this position looks like a year from now when it's like Coy Aiken and a bunch of unproven guys, at least as we sit here right now.
Yeah.
There's not a position group on the team. Maybe defensive end is one, or edge is one, or just defensive line in general is one. But there's like, you can go 7 or 8 deep on different people talking about excitement for younger players on this team. But it's just a whole cast of characters that are talented, were highly recruited in some cases, that just have not done it before. And your Roy Alexanders have, your Reggie Virgils have, your Caleb Douglases have. Again, going to be asked to do it at this level, on this stage, and consistently. But I think your 2 outside guys are draftable, or at the minimum preferred free agents like Josh Kelly was. They've got measurables to go with it. They've got speed to go with it. Now we just need the production and some results and the health to be maintained. But maybe you don't get a top 25 guy because you're pulling votes from each other, because I don't know how you really differentiate. Because Reggie Virgil, I mean, let's not forget, when you got him, there were the Florida States, there were the Oklahomas that were quite pissed and throwing around like, I cannot believe that they're giving this guy this much money. And they were just like, it was coming off as entitled. And like, you know, again, the Florida State tie, because he's originally from the state of Florida. But Oklahoma was as hot and bothered as anybody about any player that you got over in the portal, and almost like offended that he was coming to Texas Tech.
Of course. And
I've talked to Reggie multiple times. He is a great human. Like he is an easy kid to root for. This is a guy that would tell you he was a knucklehead when he was growing up, but he has figured it out. And I mean, this is a kid that gave back to his high school. Appreciates his high school coaches for pointing him on the right path, and that football would be a way out, and could give him a lot if he gave it a lot. And anyway, and we'll talk about him later as we talk about just guys getting to play in this stadium for the first time. But
rip it off now, Chris, because I know he was one you mentioned to me as being really excited for this experience at the Jones and all that's going to come with playing in front of that size of crowd. I do want to ask you about this weekend specifically, though, because it seems like we've got some interesting weather set up for this one, a date with an FCS opponents on Saturday night. But